About the two who have never done it before and got married, does that mean that because we didn't do it, does that guarantee the fact that we'll not have adultery? You can have plenty of adultery and begin to swim in adultery. If the conditions that keeps a marriage strong is not given attention to, for instance, we get married, the husband's sexual life is not taken care of, the woman's emotional life is not taken care of. Those things will predispose those people who were righteous before. If I have dealt with cases, there's a case of a woman I dealt with, but it has to do with the fact that she was a virgin until she got married. And it was in marriage, after 17 years, she said to me, she said, Pastor Sam, she now found herself living like a whore. Because as at the time when she came to see me, she was already having about 4 or 5 men in her life. What led to it? There was a change in the economic status in their family, and her husband, who used to be caring, providing, could no longer provide. So what happened then was, she is a manager of a bank, so she needed to start getting more revenues into the bank so she can make more income. As a result of that, she met with an older man in NNPC who eventually, because at that moment her husband became depressed, so sexually speaking, he doesn't have money, and you know, men, we feel better about ourselves when we have good work and good worth. Is that okay? So the husband was always depressed, so anytime she wants to relate with him, please, I'm not in the mood for that. So at that time, there was no money. She went looking for money. Eventually, she met with this 50-something-year-old man, NNPC, who began to provide them with so much deposit, lifting her rating, bringing more income. And that was where it all began. And before you know, she's found herself moving into multiple relationships, until I came to their church to preach on infidelity. And that was how she came out. People came out that day, the pastor was crying. And then she came to see me privately. She said, Pastor, if I came out on that day when you came to preach, our church would scatter. Because people respect her. But this is the reality. Another woman of God called me. She said, Pastor, I need to talk with you. I said, what is it? She said, as I'm talking to you right now, I'm at the Hilton and I want to sleep with my classmate. And I said, Mama, please come straight to me. And she drove from the Hilton here. And she said, look at what's going on with my husband. This is a woman of God. So sometimes don't attack people when you don't know what they go through. The best of us can do the worst of things. That's why, please, on a very jovial note, all of you sisters who are planning to get married, how many of you want to get married next year? How many of you are ready to get married? Keep your hands up. Sisters only. You're ready to marry next year? Stand up, let me see you. Okay, let's talk about readiness. No, stand or remain standing. I want to talk about readiness. On a very jovial note, you are not ready, that's okay, right? I get you. Those of you that are ready, remain standing. Part of what they may not have told you is that we're living in a sexualized world. Sex has been weaponized. Are you aware? Who are the people that weaponize sex? Men. Do you know what women do today? Do you know that there is nothing private anymore about the body of a woman? There's no private part in a woman anymore, because they are all in the public. Am I correct? So everywhere a man turns, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere, women now know shame. It's everywhere. Am I correct? The implication, wake up, the implication is that it requires more energy now to keep a man sexually at home than it used to be. Formerly, when a man, there was no internet. If a man has to see another woman naked, he must go, travel, go to where she is, go and see her naked, pay to see her naked. Now, nakedness is inside your house. Your husband can be in your house and be chatting with a naked woman somewhere else. Am I correct? Live chat rooms are available now. That tells you that as a woman, how many of you know yoga? How many of you do yoga dance exercise? How many of you do physical exercise, rumba dance? How many of you are doing physical exercise there? How many of you are going for gym? Resume gym. You resume what? You never can tell who you're going to marry. I'm sure you know all over on the internet now. It is now being written clearly that the minimum time a man needs to have sex with a woman, how many times a week? Say it again. Talk. 20. Why are you saying, Okay, how many? Okay, so there's an average of 3 times a week. You've seen that one? Average, how many times a week? 3 times a week. And 3 times doesn't mean that is we do 1, we do 2, we do 3. It could be 3 days, and there could be many times within the 3 days. That's why you talk about the 20. Now, look up. I'm trying to show you what we're dealing with. Because you mentioned, I want to get married, and then you get in and you find this reality, and you now discover I'm dealing with something very tough. Please go and work on your physical stamina. I am telling you this under God. Women, go. Can I tell you this? If you don't do, look up here, look up. If you don't do, my wife and I were watching a prostitute they were doing a documentary on old cougars in the UK, and we were watching a 70-something-year-old woman. How many men she sleeps with in a day? She said minimum 10 every day. Some of the ladies who are into prostitution now in your city, in Abuja here, some of them can go with as much as 5, 6, 7, 10 men per day. If that woman grabs your husband will not be coming home every day. I'm showing you how that it takes more to keep a man now sexually. Are you catching what I'm saying? Go and start learning how to dance. Go and do exercise. Don't just say I am ready, because the reality of it is it takes a lot to keep a man now. Am I being frank with you? It takes a lot. It's not just praying in tongues and having nice behavior. It takes a lot. So go and get ready. God bless you. May be seated. I noticed that when I started talking about ready, some of you have started dropping. Pastor Sam, is that it? It's a serious matter. So please go and work on yourself. You never can tell what kind of husband you will get. You may end up with a guy who has been used to it before he got married, who has been used to doing it every day, and he gave his life to Christ, but he has not lost the stamina. Am I correct here in the house? So that you don't call me, Papa, he won't kill me. No, don't call me. So make sure you get ready. Talk to me, man.
Thank you very much, Papa. I want to ask this question. As a single lady that has actually waited for God, for all her life, waiting for her man to appear, and suddenly you begin to see men who were married before coming to you, and you begin to ask yourself question, if the word of God is not coming to play again in people's lives. Like God will say, from the beginning he created them male and female, and none shall lack her maid. And you begin to ask, where is your own husband? If all these men that are coming, some of them have been married, some will say they've been just separated, and you just look at it and say, no, that can't go. And then another one will come that has been married, has children, and maybe lost the wife. Yes, that can be manageable, but you begin to ask yourself question. All this you're waiting, is this one God's will for you or no? And this same man you're talking about is in a relationship that his wife died about 11 years ago, and he's in a relationship about 6 years, and the person is staying with him. And you begin to ask, where are we going to, in fact, with all this? And he's so serious about getting married to you. This is a man that has 5 kids. All of them are graduates. Yes, all of them are graduates. And you begin to ask, what did this man do to God that you want to take you to go and give to him? And all this while you've been waiting. And it's not clear again. And I begin to ask, God, speak now. before I say no, and people begin to think that you maybe you're too much, you like yourself. Well, if I like myself, that's the reason why I will be able to like you, as God says. So I'm asking this question, sir. Where do I fit in all this?
Okay. So sometimes I want to thank you for being vulnerable. If there's anything that makes me come to this singles meeting, it's the practical issues we deal with. And sometimes I just try to hold back emotions, because you seem not to understand too, as a preacher, how that people that live very crazy life seems to have what those who live good lives don't have. But we understand it. Is that okay? Here's what I want to say to you, man. If the man is a widower, he qualifies to be married to you. And if your worry is that why did God allow me to stay this long, I want to say to you that God created all of us and has a purpose for each of our lives. Is that okay? There are some who are to get married, have children with somebody, and be gone. Another person will finish the race. There is what we call the principle of the second. God created the first Adam, who began the human race, but brought the last Adam to finish it. God brought a man into the life of Ruth. The man started life with her. God took the man away, and then through that connection led her to the main man whom God had delayed. Nobody knew why Boaz, for whatever reason, had money and there were women around him, but he could not make up his mind to be married. When Ruth showed up, the desire to be married was activated. If she never married Mahlon or Chilon, if she never married them and then have him die, so please take note, Mahlon had to die, Chilon had to die, because if any of them had been alive, Ruth would have become the second wife of that one. But by divine ordination, the real husband of Ruth is in actually Bethlehem, Judah. But Ruth was displaced in Moab because her parents are Moabites. By divine ordination, a Moabitess is to marry a Jewish person. She was in a different country. God created a famine, steered the heart of Elimelech with Naomi to move to that particular place. Is it by accident they move? Is it by accident their sons saw Ruth and Orpah? Is it by chance that the two boys died, leaving no son behind to take two wives at the same time? Is it by chance that when Naomi was there, she now heard that God has blessed the same country she had left? Is it by chance she chose to come back, not minding the shame of coming back? Was it by chance that Orpah decided to leave and Ruth decided to follow? Did Ruth follow, or she was inspired to follow? When she came, Pastor Sunday was teaching us recently, was it by chance that there were so many farms, but the farm that Ruth went to straight, the first one, happens to be the farm of the man that will become her husband? Are you watching what I'm talking about here? Too many circumstances. Was it by chance that she was gleaning and he was observing her? Was it by chance that Naomi woke up and said, my daughter, tonight, go and cross his path? Was it by chance that he saw a woman on his feet and did not slap and beat her? Say, what do you want? She mentioned what she wanted. Was it by chance he said yes? Was it by chance that he was not supposed to be the redeemer? The kinsman redeemer was not Boaz. What made the kinsman redeemer to say, sorry ma'am, I will not redeem you? Is it normal for Boaz to pick up a woman that another man rejected? But all of that is to show you that it was when she came to him, the pregnancy she could not have with the son of Naomi, she suddenly took in for this man. And from her, we had Obed, Jesse, David, Jesus. Can you see that complicated background? And look at how he ended. Who would have ever thought that the death of Sarah will open the door for Keturah to be married to a man at 100 plus? God, we were never told that Keturah had been ever married in her life. Keturah was a lady who had never been married. Why didn't you find a young guy to marry? Why would it be this old man coming for me? And don't forget that Abraham could not impregnate Sarah. It was by miracle that we were able to have Isaac. How comes with Keturah 7 mighty princes came out? Please leave all this permutation and combination to God. That a man's wife died and he has children, they have grown, is no reason why you should not marry him. If he's interested, all we want him to do, the one living with him, he should make a choice. Is it you or the one living with him? If it's you, then what is he going to do with that? Let him sort out that. If he can sort it out, why not, ma? Let the Lord bid you farewell. Come and meet me. I will anoint the card. If possible, I will attend it. Then your wedding gown, let the tail be very long.